Hi everybody, it's Tracy here. I'm finally going to share with you my latest junk journal. It's a little golden book, the Pokey little puppy, and it has a 2.5-inch spine with some vintage fabric on there, as well as the baker's twine I used to tie in the 3 signatures. I believe I got the baker's twine at Dollar Tree years ago. The front cover, was a little battered, so I had to put some packing tape on there to reinforce it. And then I also just put some brads on there just for a little decorative feature or whatever. It has the original price of 89 cents, and then this little sticker says 50 cents. And so I decided to keep that on there. And I'm going to keep this journal and use it for my little 1-year-old dog, Mocha. Just because I think most of my journals I either try to sell or I give away or whatever. Each signature has, I believe, 16 pages in it. And for whatever reason, I decided to make this a little harder than usual. I don't know why, but it took me longer than it should have. So myself and several other ladies get together once a month and have a little craft and gab session. And I had taken this with me a couple times, and I was going to cover up Patrick's name, and they were like, oh, poor Patrick. So I decided to keep it on there just because, you know, why not? The front cover has a little tuck spot here. It actually is kind of tight because of the way I glued it on there. And there's more fabric tape, or not tape, excuse me, vintage fabric there with a little rickrack. And this is the coordinations paper, which I don't even know if it's around anymore. You know, that two-tone paper where if you sanded it, it came out a different color. I have a Dollar Tree doily here and just inked that up a little bit. It is also a tuck spot. I don't have anything in there because I'm waiting for my new printer to be fixed. That's another long story. I have some boo-boo tape here, or vintage tape that I made. And then this here is from a sticker book that I got off of Amazon. You do have to fussy cut the stickers, but it was well worth the price. And then some little stickers throughout, an ephemera that my friend Nikki sent me when she was going through her room. And it was perfect because I wanted to do a book for Mocha. So my coffee dyed paper here. This is supposed to be one of those flat cheese graters. I'm still learning the whole coffee dyeing situation. And then this trim here I got from Dina, one of the ladies that got together with us 2 times ago. And then over here is just some more stickers that I fussy cut out. And a little tuck spot here, another fussy cut sticker. And then just a little journaling spot. And another little tag pull out there. That is Mocha that you hear in the background. She feels like she's being neglected. She highly is not. A little Kool-Aid dyed paper. And then this is a little charm that I got from Nikki as well with a Tim Holtz paper clip. And just a little envelope with some more of that vintage fabric and tuck spot. And then over here, this piece kept falling out, so I used a Tim Holtz paper clip to hold that on there. And I had to get out the definition out of a dictionary, which, you know, I couldn't find dog, so I think it was my husband suggested to look up the word canine. Because, you know, that makes perfect sense. I didn't think of it, though. And just a little roughage there. Hey. Sorry about that. I don't even know what she's barking at. This here, the lady that coordinates the get-togethers, her name is Linda. She was talking about zines, and I'd never heard about it. So she created this for me and explained it to me. And I used one of her stencils and did that. More of the stuff from Nikki. And more there. And then this part right here, these little pieces are actually pieces that Mocha did. She likes to tear up paper, so I threw it on the floor, she tore it up, and I put it on there. This paper here I got off of Amazon. It was a paper pad that had, I think, 6 or 7 different prints in there. And I didn't have any dog paper, so I had to find some. There's also a couple other different prints in here as well. So I did keep the story intact, and I actually numbered the pages so that just in case if they got separated, I would know what order the story went into. This is more of the trim from Dina. And then just a little flip up here. And this actually is a tuck spot as well, a double tuck spot on another one of my coffee dyed pages. And that also is from Nikki, the ingredients and little paw print. And I really like how this coffee dyed paper turned out. This is another one of those prints out of the paper pad from Amazon. I'll try to put a link down below in case if any of y'all want to do a dog themed book. There's still quite a bit of paper left in there too. And then this is still, I have a little bit left out of this journal that I picked up at the Goodwill a couple years ago. I'm going to be sad when it's gone. This is from the not Dollar Tree, Joann's. I tried to make it kind of girly because the book was a blue and green, but I did add stuff. Little tuck spot there. This was something I printed out before my new printer broke. And just the center of my first signature. And that also is a tuck spot. Not there. Originally it was. This here, it was kind of funny. I did that at one of our get-togethers, and I forgot my crocodile, but so I had to force my safety pin through there. And then just some little trim, also from Joann's. And this here is from Dina as well, and I just used my tiny attacher for that. And then over here, the paper clip's here because I had a picture in there, but since I didn't have all my pictures, I just took it out. But it would fall out if I didn't have it secured. And then I just did a little rickrack situation there. This paper pad I've had for quite a while as well. And then this here is actually from my previous employer. This was paper that was in between the dishes that we would sell. So I kind of put that on there. I thought that was kind of a cool idea. And then there's the other side of that first print. More of the vintage fabric. And then this here also came from Nikki. It's a little heavy, so I was kind of concerned, but the glue held really well. And then this is from Dina as well, and then more of that vintage fabric. And the center of my, between my first and second signature. And then just, I put some, it was supposed to be adhesive back ribbon, but the adhesive wasn't there anymore because it was quite old. And then this little piece here. I might have to put something there, I think. And then, I don't know if you guys ever remember those. They had a big one and a small one, the little fascinator tools, like a big stapler. So I have both of those, and I decided to use that on there as well. And then some more trim from Joann's. Quite sad that that store is gone. Another one of those prints from that paper pad. And then there's a little belly band here. And then one fabric page in the entire book. There's a coffee filter. I just kind of was messing around with it. And I thought it looked like a, it's where you could hold a bouquet of flowers in there. And then a little thing there. And just some more coffee dyed paper, more of that print from Amazon. And then vintage fabric. This one, you can barely see it, but I already had it stuck down and I couldn't get it to come back off of there, unfortunately. And more of that trim from Dina. Another coffee dyed page. Some more of that print from Amazon. And then a little fold out here. This is another Kool-Aid dyed paper I did. In the center of my second signature. This part was really fun because I was going to do the whole envelope like that, but just even doing that was too much for me. Another piece from Nikki. And then this here was a notepad that I got at the Goodwill. And I inked it up and added a few brads to it. And a couple more tuck spots here. That was fun. And just some more. This here, actually, I got at Walmart on clearance for like $1 for the whole spool. And then another bone from Nikki. I used a lot of the stuff. And then what I didn't use, I took to the get-together because we have like a little freebie table that we put stuff on there. That way, if there's something one of us has, the other one doesn't, we can swap it out or whatever. I used quite a bit of washi tape in here as well because some of the pages were very thin and fragile. More of that trim from Dina. And coffee dyed paper. And then there's the between the second and third signature and a little journal spot or whatever you want to call it. Tuck spot. That's what I wanted to say. More of the things from Nikki. And then this here as well as a tuck spot. Another one of those prints. There, like I said, there's 6 or 7 different prints in that notepad or paper pad. And another coffee dyed paper. My shadow, because she really is. More of that fabric. And then this was where I was making it difficult because I was trying to make sure that each signature had the same amount of pages. And so there's a lot of washi tape and paper adhering the pages together to get the right amount. And then these are not tuck spots, but I just thought that kind of matched with this. And then, I don't know. There's a tuck spot here. And then these little bones were off of a sticker that I got off the freebie table. It actually had Scooby-Doo and stuff like that on it, but I only wanted the bones. And some little pom-pom trim that I've had for, gosh, I don't even know how long. And then another situation where I didn't have my crocodile, so I just poked the little, I forget what it's called, but it's Tim Holtz, through there. And then I did 2 safety pins. I don't know if you can see that or not on there, with the Kool-Aid dyed paper and the invoice and some washi tape here. That was to cover up the eyelet, or excuse me, the brad, but you can still see it. Center of the signature and more of my Kool-Aid dyed paper, and then the nutritional facts or whatever on the dog. More washi, vintage fabric. And then this, I don't know what happened here, but it works, right? And then some pom-pom trim there. Another coffee dyed paper. And then more of the stuff from Nikki. And another page from that pad, or actually that's the first one. And that one. And then this actually happened to be in the book, and I've never seen that in any of my other ones. But I thought, I'm going to keep it in there anyways, because it's kind of just cool, you know. It's about the little golden books. And apparently McDonald's had them at one point in time, because on here it says somewhere in the fine print that you can't use the coupon at McDonald's. And then more of that trim from Dina. And then this, like I said, just like the front cover, has a tuck spot in it as well. And I'm assuming Patrick did this wonderful artwork here. So that is my Pokey Little Puppy little golden book that I did for Mocha. And like I said, I still have my cookbook one. It's kind of off to the side for a while. And then I started another one this last Saturday that I've only got the cover down on it, but I'm super excited about how it might turn out. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And sorry it's been a while, but I want to thank you all for subscribing and liking and commenting and big thumbs up. And I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye.